do it this way. Hello. I'm trying to find out if I'm sideways. Y'all see the title? It's right. What y'all doing? Mm. I was trying to look at this fan. I got a couple of books out. Let me see if I can see that in this Joe Dispenza book. Mm. Hmm. I'm back home. I'm back home. Trying to get back in a um trying to get back into the routine of being back in my home alone. I was listening to Joe Dispenza, and he seems to think that single women living alone, um, rebuild their reprogramming their mind. So I was listening to that, and I already had a couple of books out, and I was going to read his book today anyway. So I'm trying to see if I see it in this book, um, Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. And the other book I was reading earlier, which I told y'all a couple of months ago, I read a couple of books, was Meet Your Straw Man and Whatever You Want to Know. Very good read. So I'm still reading that one too. Today is the 8th, and it is the death date of my dad. Let me see where I stopped it in this book. Got so many highlighted. Got my highlighter right here. My highlighter. Got a green highlighter today. Trying to see where we're about to start out. The present moment, chapter 2. I got a few more pages in. Living a past incarnation in the present moment. about an hour and a half after I started my meditation, in a seated position, I finally reclined. I put some pillows underneath. I put some pillows under my knees so I wouldn't fall asleep too quickly, allowing me to linger between wakefulness and sleep. As I lay down, I simply put my attention in the place the pineal gland occupies. As I lay down, I simply put my attention in the place of the pineal that the pineal occupies in my head. But this time, instead of trying to make something happen, I just let go and said to myself, whatever. Apparently, that was the magic word, whatever. I really be feeling like whatever is a magic word for real. Apparently, that was the magic word. I know what that means now. I surrendered, got out of the way, and let go of any specific outcome and simply open up to possibility. I feel my pineal gland just thumping. The next thing I knew, I was experiencing myself as a spout man in a very hot region in the world that seemed to be in what we now call Greece or Turkey. And that's interesting because Greece and Turkey is a lot of what the Bible, a lot of biblical stuff that we read is out of Greece and Turkey if you dig deeper. The terrain was rocky, the ground was parched, the stone building, like those in Greco Roman times, were interspersed with many small tents made of colored fabric. I was wearing a one piece skirted burlap garment that fell from my shoulders to my mid thigh, and I had to read two lines, and I had a thick rope tied around my waist like a belt. I wore sandals roped up to my calves. I had thick curly hair, and my body felt strong. My shoulders were broad, and my arms and legs were masculine. I was a philosopher and a long-time student of some charismatic movement. I was simultaneously the self in that experience and my present self observing me in the particular time and space. Again, I was way more conscious than normal. I was super conscious. All my senses were heightened, and I was very aware of everything. I could smell the familiar musk of my body, and I could taste the salt of my perspiration dripping from my face. I loved that taste. I felt grounded in my physically and strength of my body. I was aware of deep pain in my right shoulder, but it did not consume my attention. I saw the brightness of the blue sky and the richness of the green trees and the mountains, as if I were living in Technicolor. I heard seagulls in the distance, and I knew I was near a large body of water. I was on a pilgrimage and mission of sort. I was traveling about the country, teaching my philosophy that I had studied and lived by my whole life. I was under a tutelage and a grandmaster whom I love very deeply because of because of the care, patience, and wisdom he had given me for so many years. It was my time now to be initiated and to deliver a message to change my minds and hearts of the culture. I knew that the message dismantling dismantling was counter to the current beliefs of that time, and that the government and religious orders of the day would challenge me. They're gonna challenge you. That's what I see. That last line, I'm on page 21. You're gonna experience challenges on every level. That's where they get that new levels, new devils. Yep. Let's see. Now I'm on page 24. The main message of the philosophy I studied would free people from living in any type of obligation to something or someone outside of them. It would also inspire individuals to demonstrate a code of principles that would empower them to have more enriched and meaningful lives. Let's read that one again. The main message of the philosophy I studied would free people from living any type of obligations to something or someone outside of them. It would also inspire individuals to demonstrate a code of principles that would empower them to have more enriched and meaningful lives. Okay, so let's go back to this book because this was the original book that I was reading first. I'm gonna start back to the beginning of this one, The Straw Man, because this was the first book I had picked up. Meet your straw man, and whatever you want to know. Happy is the man who findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding, which reference from Proverbs 3:13. We the people. Governments are initiated No, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Let's see what the Bible say, because we know the Bible is a political book. Let's see what it say. I don't have my I'm so happy to be home. I'm gonna read that, and then I'm gonna tell y'all about my. Let me get something to drink. Tell y'all about my problem solving. Proverbs 3:13. Let's see what it say. My problem solving. I've been gone for 2 months. I've been on a vacation. Been on an adventure. Proverbs. Let's see. Let me see. 9:44. I've been trying to figure out how I want to get my little tiny house. Not tiny, tiny, but it's a tiny house to me. 44. Song of Songs. Oh, 313. And I'm reading this passage out of the Message Bible. Some water. Start talking. We needing some water. For anybody that catch the rewatch, hi, I'm back home. All right, Proverbs 3. Don't assume you know it all. Right, we know nothing. We know nothing, y'all. Like when they say we only use a good 10% of our brain, we know nothing. We have so much to learn. And it's really beings walking around here thinking they know everything, predicting other people's lives, leading people the wrong way intentionally, leaving stuff out, taking stuff, hiding it, and telling you that it's forbidding. Forbidden is to be hidden. The birds don't have to tell themselves where they're going to get their next meal from. They don't have to tell the government. They don't have to pay the government to be on this planet. We the only creatures on this planet that's paying to be here. They'll program you to think that you got to go buy dog food to feed the dog. The dog can't go buy dog food. The bird don't go buy bird food. But they program us to think that everything that we have, we got to go work for it to buy it for somebody else. They said this is the greatest wealth transfer that we'll ever see. And we don't know what realm we're going to see it in. Like this is not the only realm. The UFOs flying, the orbs, the man-made wars. You don't know anything. We don't know anything unless we go out here and get it for ourselves. Trust no one. Put no one before you. Put no man before you. Mm. All right. 313. You were blessed when you met Lady Wisdom. When you make friends with Madeline Insight, the very tree of life. The tree of life is wisdom, a feminine energy. The reason why we've been programmed to say, won't he do it? And not won't she do it? And then in French, won't we do it together? But you got to be an individual. You got to build an individual mindset. You got to become the school. If you know that you've been only taught the minimum and then you were taught the minimum backwards, you were taught it in English in the weakest language. I got moles under my house or outside my house, but I actually think I could have a mice in here. And I don't need a mice in here with all these books. But yeah, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And a lot lately I've been hearing the word principles. Principles. All right, so we went to the good friends, don't forget all I've taught you. Take your heart my commands. Proverbs 3 from the Message Bible. They'll help you live long time, long life, live full and well. Don't forget all I've taught you. Don't lose your grip on love and loyalty. Tie them around your neck. Carve them, carve their initials on your heart. Earn a reputation of living well in God's eye. In God's with an S, eyes with an S, and the eyes of the people. Trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do. Everywhere you go, He's one who will keep you on track. Don't assume that you know it all. Run to God. Run from evil. God is good. God is within. So you have to be good and run from evil. Your body will glow with health. Your very bones will vibrate with life. Honor God. Honor the God within yourself. Listen to yourself. Listen. Honor God with everything you own. Honor God with everything you own. Give God the first and the best. Give self the first and the best, the God within you. Your barns will burst. Your wine vat will brim over. Your barns will burst. Your wine vats will run over. But don't, dear friend, resent God's discipline. You got to have self discipline. Don't slunk under loving correction. It's the child he loves that God's correct. It's the child he loves that God corrects. It is something like in between the house. Do the moles get in between the house? That's wow. And I just started hearing it talk. I mean, I just started hearing it right here when I turned on the camera and started reading. Huh. Mm. Let's see if it come back when I start reading. All right. Meet your straw man and whatever you want to know. We the people. It says, let's have a little quiz. Who meets there? And it's the White House. It's the White House. It says, who meets there? What do they do there? Do they help you in any way? If your answers were members of the government, they represent all the people living in the country. Yes, they create laws to protect me and my family. Then let me congratulate you on getting every one of your answers wrong. Didn't do too well on that quiz. Okay, let's have another go. When was slavery abolished? Was slavery legal? Are you in debt to a financial institution? Here are the answers. The serving officers of a commercial corporation. They think up ways to take money and goods from you. No, absolutely not. They help themselves and not you. 4. Slavery has never been abolished, and you yourself are considered to be a slave right now. Yes, slavery is legal, although it is not lawful. You need to discover the difference. No, you are not in debt to any financial institution. Does this seem a little strange to you? If it does, then read on. Those in power have a great big secret. Paying tax is optional. Registering a vehicle is optional. Paying a fine is optional. Attending a court is optional. You can if you want, but you don't have to. Surprise. Well, try this on full size or try this on for size. Every mortgage and loan is fully prepaid from day one. You can pay it again if you want to, but you don't have to. If nobody has told you, if nobody has told that you have a straw man, then this could be a very interesting experience for you. Your straw man was created when you were very young, far too young to know anything about it. But then it was meant to be a secret as its purpose is to swindle you. And it has been used very effectively to do just that ever since it was created. Perhaps it is time that you learn more about your straw man and how you can stop it being used against you. Knowing about it is the most important first step. You need to go on a journey of discovery, and I'm afraid that what you are about to discover is not very pleasant. However, if you decide to act on whatever you learn, it could change your life for the better. If you think if you think that you are in debt, then you can get out of it if you are willing to stand up for your rights and refuse to be swindled any longer. Interested? If so, then let's start at the beginning and find out where your straw man came from and why you should care about it. It all started when your parents had a happy event and you entered the world. You didn't know exactly when that was because you were not aware of the days of the week, the months of the year, or even what year it was. Mm, my head is itching. Ooh, they went to sleep. Where am I at? Okay. Even after months had been gone, you still were not aware of these things. But by that time, your straw man had already been created, and it was being used to make some very unscrumptious people rich. None of this was your fault. It happened because your parents were fooled into thinking that they they needed to register your birth and get a birth certificate for you. So they applied for a birth certificate, not understanding what would happen when they did. Then what did happen? According to the local authority, they lost ownership over their baby, you. They allowed a straw man to be created. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there for a minute. So my parents signed a birth certificate for me when I was born, and I was born beside the street. So my birth certificate don't have a time. It has a date. It don't have a time. Some people have a time, but I don't have a time because I was not delivered in an actual hospital. So, um, but at 2 years old, I was taken from my parents, and they were said to have been unfit. And I was raised up in the system, according to the local authorities, in the 70s. So if I was born beside the street and they never would have took me to the hospital and got a birth certificate for me, then I would not have been put in the social services system. Because the Bible said, don't assume you know it all. But according to this and why these two books I have out today together, maybe God gonna give me some answers on what's been going on. What's the codes? Okay, this is not something which they can be blamed for, as nobody told them it would or even could happen. Nobody was telling them back in the 70s that they didn't have to register their kids, because before the 70s, because what was it? It was like in the 1950s when the Black Wall Street got destroyed, and it was kind of like some of the stuff that's going on now. So back in the 50s, mm, okay. Nor did anybody tell your parents what a straw man is or how it could be used against their baby. In actual fact, the registration is a contract which is in reality not null and void because there was no full disclosure by the local authority, nor was there intent to contract on the part of your parents. The registering of the baby's birth passes ownership of the baby to the local authority, and that alone allows the local authority to take the child away from the parents if they ever want to do that. This applies until the child reaches the age of maturity set by the current legal statutes. Doing that doing that is not lawful. But after the birth has been registered, it is legal, and there is a world of difference between those two terms. Hmm. Lawful and legal. A difference which is very important to come to clearly understand. So, what is a straw man? A straw man is a fictitious legal entity created with the hope that as the child grows up, he will be fooled into believing that he is actually the straw man, which he most definitely is not, and pay all sorts of imaginary costs and liabilities which get attached to the straw man by con artists. Hmm. How is a straw man created? Ooh, excuse me. It's been a gloomy day. It's been a gloomy day. It was a pretty day. How about 3 pretty days this week? Mm. Let me see. Can I like my own video? Let me see. Oh, nope, I can't. See my daddy up there, y'all? Today is his 1 year death date. No, that's my daddy. That's my daddy. That's my baby brother. That transition. And he transitioned on the 8 to 8. He transitioned on 8/18. Yep. And then I had his service on 2/24/24. Yep. All right. So, uh, this is, I don't know. This is just some stuff that I was reading. I don't know if anybody else interested in stuff like this, but I do be. What do y'all be doing? Because, oh, that's what I was saying. Joe Dispenza. So I was listening to a Joe Dispenza I guess it was a podcast live or something, and he was saying that single women that live alone are um, very much different. They are very much problem solvers. They are very much thinkers, and I'm beginning to think that's why a lot of women, and they're not all single, because I'm beginning to see a lot of women that look like me have doctor in front of their name. And I don't know if one day I will have doctor in front of my name. I'm not gonna say, because I don't know it all. But I'm working towards something that's supernatural. Nobody's gonna give it to me. I'm working for it. It's within, and it shall radiate out, as above, so below, as within, so without. And we got to realize, I've been working. Um, if you've been on this channel, you know I've been working after taking 2 months off, about a little bit over 60 days to try to build a YouTube channel, to build Canva, Printify, to try to build. I'm also thinking about joining Dr. Tawanda Worlds, the Disruptor, on YouTube. I'm thinking towards the end of the month, I'm gonna go ahead and make that move to join her as a I'm not even sure what to actually call it, but I would say partnership. I want to say she's a business life entrepreneur, all things. I like her. She does a lot of things, faceless YouTube, regular YouTube, credit, teaching. To me, I look at her like a teacher. More to say, she's a spiritual, godly woman. She's been through a lot. I mean, I can relate to that. I can relate to her even more with her coming on the camera doing the work. Um, it appears to me that she's a go getter into seeking, finding the knowledge for herself, and I like that. I love that. So that's one of my goals for the end of this month, to try to go and figure out how to get on the other side of this wealth transfer, the flip side of the coin, the the job that I am now working it, and I've been very, very, very open about that. That's an investment for an investment. I'm not working to I'm not working for this company to just pay my bills. I'm working to live the minimum. As y'all see, I'm living the minimum to invest to where I need to get through. So once I do join someone that I am led to join, because I have joined a few people. Y'all have seen I've been with well, you don't see it all here, but I've been with Network Marketing Melaleuca. I've been with, and I think I was with Melaleuca in 20 2010. Yeah, 2010, 2009, 2010. And then I was with Total Life Changes. I've been with Paparazzi. I was just with Oberly. And I've made some money. I have not made a lot of money, but I have made some money with network marketing. I feel like the introduction to network marketing back then has brought me to where I am now with the Most High Source, connecting me with people that do things different than what I originally was um, shown or what everyone else was doing. I've always had the entrepreneur spirit. I am a Virgo, and some people would say that Virgos never stop. Virgos will try to push for the benefit of the good for themselves and others, even if the others don't want it. They'll try it. So and encourage. I'm probably the only person that I know. I have a younger, and I think she's a Virgo cousin. She's very much into. She reminds me of a younger version of me and more because she had her own product line, skin and I say skin and hair soaps. Um, but yeah, Virgos, we are very much those people. So I can see that more in myself. Study thyself to show thyself approved. Everything that you can see on this shelf. And let me see if I can turn this around. Let's see. This bookshelf. This is one shelf. That's my little work area. Got my little heater, y'all. And then I got my little battery bank right here, and my computer and my portable DVD player charging. I'm charging up a lot of electronics today. It looks like it's kind of wonky outside, and y'all know I will prepare for the uh, origination is locked. Let me see. Okay, can I turn it this way? Nope. Rotate device backwards. I don't think I can rotate it again. Oh, I got another little bank over there charging. I got it in the. Um, if you can see it, it's up there charging. Um, I don't know. I don't think I can turn it back around like I had it. I don't know what I did. Highlight, save. No, no, no. Yeah, it won't go back like it was. And that's what I got going on. I have been off my channel for a while. Let me get something to drink. salt water over. This is the first time that I have not had some meditation incense. I don't know if y'all love incense, but I love incense. Webcam is welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Let's see, I can't see. Abide by our community guidelines. What is that? Hello. I didn't do that. I didn't break no community guidelines. I'm just trying to make sure because hey, I don't want to. Or maybe because I had that. I don't know. Not sure. Oh. That might be. No, I hope I didn't break no community guidelines. I'm just seeing that. I've never seen that before. Maybe I'll do that. Can I do that? I don't know. Maybe I have to delete the live. Where's everybody at? I've been gone from YouTube. I promise y'all I've been gone, but ooh, excuse me. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe I should delete this one and start over. Okay, let's see.